Hey guys, welcome to another fan mail time. Or whatever Tosh wrote on there this time. This time we've got a package from Luigi1000, who was so super generous. We referenced on a couple of streams that we didn't have a Sega Saturn, and it was our goal to get one eventually, and Luigi has sent us a Sega Saturn he had lying around that was covered in dust. So we're extremely grateful. Let's get opening, shall we? Yeah, we were noting that what we hoped to do was eventually get a disk drive replacement a la the Rhea or Phoebe, but those keep selling out. And since I'm a backer of somebody on Patreon called Professor Abrasive, who's working on his own solution, we are just looking forward to that eventually finishing. And until then, we're going to be playing games through other means, legit and otherwise. You ready? Let's see what we got. We got two things to read. We got two letters. Okay, this says part 1. All steps done in order, starting with this one first. You can tell someone who makes Mega Maker levels sent us this package.
Yeah, what?
You're opening my box wrong. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I really have. He hasn't told me anything about this. Luigi hasn't. Okay, so we got multiple things. Okay, those are interesting things. I'm gonna look at that one more time. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. You know what? I'll show it. We got some coinage from Canada. Now you're really covering the light. There we go. How about that? How about them apples?
There we go, now they're focused.
Yeah. Pretty neat. I actually haven't seen that before. It says $2. 2 Canadian dollars. Okay. So I'm gonna put that away, and we're gonna see which one I read first. Okay, we got... I think he printed up a version of this. He did. That's pretty great. So which one should I read? The one with handwriting where I'll have to interpret it? Let me just make sure it's the exact same. First, let me start. Okay. Okay. Dear Dan Video Games and Bob Fake Mega Man fan, otherwise known as the GigaBoys of GigaBoots. If you're reading this, then that means you've received the package and are hopefully opening these things in the proper planned out order. Though if you're not, it won't surprise me due to the amount of cheese and sequence breaking which occurs weekly. This letter serves as a way to explain the order and things which are in the package. First, let me start off with what is included in this envelope. Envelope number 1. We already sequence broke it because we checked what else was in there. You will find both typed and handwritten copies of this letter, as well as my introductory gift from Canada to you both. Included are 2 toony Canadian coins, which glow in the dark, first of its kind for any common currency, and serves as a steamed ham references, so you each get one. Let me pull those back out.
How are they steamed ham references?
Oh, I'm pulling it out for that exact reason. Hey, Bob. What is happening here? What's going on in here?
Is that a...
It is,
Is that an Aurora Borealis?
It is Aurora Borealis. At this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within the tail side of these coins.
Amazing.
It is amazing. That's pretty great. That's really great, actually. I was like, what are these coins about? I don't know, but they look nice. I didn't realize, I didn't get close enough to realize that was the Aurora Borealis. It's pretty dope. Okay. Well, now you need not ask permission if you can see it, because you now own it and can see it glow if it has been exposed to enough light, which I am interested in seeing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds really great.
With that now out of the way, how about we move on to envelope number 2? Inside you will find a certificate, which when signed by you, what is, okay. Inside, you will find a certificate which, when signed by you, is legally binding as a contract and states that, as per our agreement on Discord, Discord direct messages. 1 Sega Saturn accessories in exchange for 3 months executive producer credit. A playlist of our Patreon videos and me compensating him for how much shipping costs via Super Chat levels. Oh, and the existence of this video itself. No, fuck the deal. End this video now!
This video was brought to you by GigaBoots. Fantastic.
Thinks he owns us because he said it's a Sega Saturn like it's some sort of childhood dream of mine. That you are now the full owner of it, and I will never ask for it back.
I promise.
I did note that that is a paranoia I have with anything anyone sends us. I don't know. I'm not used to receiving things. There. I said it. I'm like, I don't know how the law works on owning things. What if he says, I didn't mean to send it to him? And the cops were like, okay, watching a YouTube video is too complicated. Let's see. Last but not least, you can now remove the styrofoam. Okay, well, maybe we should get to page 2. Let's open envelope 2 instead of...
But he says remove the styrofoam. What are you doing?
Well, that's the next step.
Oh.
He mentioned this...
Oh, he mentioned this. Okay.
Let's see. I'm just gonna look at it. You can stay on that side. There might be legal details here we don't want to share.
All right.
Let's see. Yep, that's both of our names. I'm glad I kept it on this side. Okay. Oh, he even wrote the serial number, so that way it's really specific. I like this. This is pretty fancy. I might frame it. I'm gonna frame it. It's cute. I like it a lot. Okay. Well, he's listed everything inside of there on that certificate. It seems pretty legit to me. I'm no legal professor, but I'm pretty sure that's official as shit.
We can get it too.
Sega Saturns are real estate.
That's right. That's how it works.
Yeah. Last but not least, you can now remove the styrofoam and hear the story of the Sega Saturn. In truth, I never actually owned a Sega Saturn. I knew it. He stole this and sent it to us. We spent enough streams complaining about people who borrow shit for their friends as kids and never give it back that he was like, oh shit, that's me and I feel like trash. I should give it to them so that way they're morally complicated. Let's see. In truth, I never actually owned a Sega Saturn. However, that all changed one summer day, 7 years ago. Oh, that wasn't even that long ago. That would be like...
that's pretty long. I mean, it's a long time.
But it's still like 17 years after the official launch of this console?
Yes.
16. That's amazing. I don't know. That's like, oh my god, Okay, let's continue. While heading back home from summer school, I had seen someone put just the console and power cable out to be thrown out with the garbage.
Whoa.
I contemplated if I should take it or not, seeing as that if I wanted to use it, that I would be able to clean it up, get all the missing cables and controllers and make it usable. I quickly came to the decision of sparing it the cruel fate of being thrown out and destroyed as I heard the garbage truck coming from a few houses down. Since then, it has been sitting in my house collecting dust for all those years. 7 years! It's just the I mean, better than it ending up in the trash.
Right.
Even if it just sat in your house for 7 more years collecting dust, better than ending up in the trash. Absolutely. As I lack the time or motivation to get a working unit together again. Then we fast forward to the live stream on November 24th, 2017, number 16, I believe it was. He sounds like he's in a noir film right now. It's number 16, I believe it was. There's just one thing I don't get about the Sega Saturn story. When you mention...
And you're just reading it like a murder mystery. It's not.
Are you sure? There's blood on the page. When you mentioned that you were looking for a Saturn, I decided then and there that I would offer to you, since it was better to let it get a chance to shine than just collect dust with me not doing anything with it. That being said, of course, this means I had to go get what was missing to make it complete. Oh my god, no. That's way too nice. Oh no. He said, Sega Saturn and power cable, free. 2 controllers, 2D and 3D, $50. Video cable, $9.99. The look on Dan's face in this video and making his childhood dream a reality, priceless. Tonight has been an emotional roller coaster, and our fans are way too nice. I would like to note yet again I talk to people I know who are YouTubers all the time, and I mention stuff that our fans do for us, and they're just like, I wish my fans were that cool. And I'm just like, I can't even say it's your fault. I just lucked out with the most amazing fan base in the world, and all it took was 7 years of psychopathically making videos that get 90 views. That's all it took. That's all it takes. Just 9,000 hours of your time. You too can do it. Maybe. Probably not. Please don't do YouTube. Please don't. In any case, I'm going to finish reading this instead of doing the scaring the audience straight thing. So then we get up to today, where after a bit of time to have everything together, tested, packed, and shipped, you have it in your hands ready to go whenever. It should already be preset to the right date and time, as it has a new internal battery placed in it as well, as an included spare if needed. Just a word of warning, be careful when putting in power cable as the connector on the console is showing its age. Ooh, scary. In conclusion, I hope you both enjoy the items which were sent and have fun with them this Mega May, and I look forward to seeing you guys do Mega Man 8 on this. Best wishes, Luigi. Speaking of which, I guess maybe I should show that. I don't know where Mega Man 8 went.
Oh, it's in, oh man.
I don't know. There's stuff everywhere. We just finished a live stream. Everything's been...
It was right on the couch here.
Oh, okay. It's just being eclipsed by my backpack. Here, let me come back around that way. Don't show the couch. But yeah, we got this copy of Mega Man 8 on eBay because we wanted to cover the Saturn version. This is a reproduction box, but I think it's really nice. Having seen actual Sega Saturn boxes, which are nowhere near as nice, I kind of appreciate what they're going for here. I'm not so sure about this. It's a neat idea, but that's probably fan art that they just monetized. But it's got this copy of Mega Man 8, and it is honestly pretty solid. That should play just fine. Given our history with games, I feel like that should play okay. I'm hoping. Looking forward to that. So, and like this was a large part of why I wanted a Sega Saturn, just to be able to play this and Symphony of the Night, both of which are really huge, important games to me, and both of which have exclusive content for the Saturn. And Mega Man 8, probably the better game, because Symphony of the Night's port to the Saturn is rough as hell.
Right, which is sad.
Yeah, rough as hell and rushed as hell. So let's get into this. Let's do this Sega Saturn thing. Okay, and this was just...
More notes?
No. No, that was just attached to the contract envelope, which was way too big for that, and he wanted a more official envelope for the contract, which is nice and appreciated. We should also frame the handwritten letter sometime. Okay, here we go. Got all this aside. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there and get that toonie in just a second.
Yeah, don't
because it now requires removing everything. That is some really like solid packing material.
I want to keep it safe.
Good lord, where do you even get this? He must have had something else.
I don't know. It's a cut-off piece of foam. You can buy those.
I guess.
Big little chunk of foam.
And then we got some newspapers here. We'll get caught up on Canadian news.
Canadian news. This is going to be way more legit.
Mueller's questions leaked NP4. Is Canada doing enough for Wales? Let me tell you, the mobile phone game market is doing enough for Wales.
I feel like that's probably not what that article is about, but I didn't read it.
Probably not.
I can't read Canadian.
Okay, well, let's see. Can you swoop around to that side? Because you're in between the light and it.
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. This is the Retrobit composite cables with S-Video he got, which will get it. That'll carry us until the RGB cables show up. Got ourselves a power cable.
Of course, yeah.
We got ourselves the most interesting piece of kit, but let's go with the 2D controller for now. I'm going to say that's... I don't know. We actually bought, what was it? What's that thing called over there?
It's an old school.
Old school misspelt Sega Saturn 2D controller. I'm going to say it's vaguely similar to this. I'm now not so sure that that is a terrible controller. We'll have to, like, open it up and compare the two just to know for sure.
We checked, and in fact, the old school Saturn controller was shit in comparison.
Because for now, that feels pretty close. This, however, is the 3D controller. Oh, yes! Yes!
So three-dimensional.
They're so, like, that's a huge swing on that stick, Bob. That's the sort of finesse you need on a stick to here. I'll bring that close to you so you can, yeah.
I can't,
That's
I
huge.
Can't focus.
I can't focus on me doing it. That's the sort of finesse you need to do Sonic R, my friend.
I heard people were saying this was basically the Dreamcast controller, but I can kind of see the similarity.
Yeah, I mean
these
triggers are a lot very similar. Yeah. That design there.
There's no place for my VMU.
Yeah, there's no place for the VMU. I don't know.
It looks way more circular on top.
Oh yeah, no, it's a circle. I don't know. We'll have to get a Dreamcast controller in sometime.
Right.
What was it? I can't remember who was. Do you remember during the most insane live stream of our lives who was saying they owned 3 Sega Saturns?
I can't remember now. I feel terrible.
I mean, that was an insane live stream. Remembering anything's difficult. I'm just double checking this is still recording. Yeah, okay. Might have run out of space on my phone. I don't know.
Yeah, it takes so long.
Okay. And we got a Sega Saturn. Uh-oh. Oh, that's the reset button. Shows what I know.
Right.
And there's our spare battery in case the device runs out of battery power and needs it replaced, which you can do through that.
Oh wow, so easy access.
Yeah. Really, that port's for like MPEG accelerator cards, and in the future, the satiator, which is gonna hijack the system through that port. Pretty simple back we got here. Just, you know, your AV cable and some sort of serial cable. I don't know what it's about though. I haven't looked into that too much. So everything looks pretty solid, feels pretty good so far. Let's go ahead and hook this up and play some Mega Man 8. Right over there on that TV. Bob, don't show them. Don't show them how we live. Okay, so we stuck Mega Man 8 in there. This is our maiden voyage with this thing. We're gonna boot it up and see if it works on the TV. Here we go. It's this one. Okay, we're getting... Oh, that's fancy. That looks surprisingly decent for composite cable.
I have to stop it down so I can look at it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that thing's way brighter than my fat ass. Okay, let's see. Is it working? Is it gonna work? That's pretty solid. That runs better than some of my Capcom games on my PS1, so we're doing all right so far. Here we go.
Nice.
Cool. Okay, I feel like everyone's seen this intro. Yeah. Everyone ever. So I'm just gonna get us to the, It's pretty good.
It's real.
And we got bonus mode.
Bonus mode.
Bonus mode is unique to the Saturn version. It's got all sorts of stuff. Like boss character postcards, official illustrations, sound test, and voice test. Which is great, because I now have a way of actually recording the music straight from Mega Man 8 without having to rely on rips done by people online. That makes me pretty happy, to be perfectly real with you guys. Like, that saves me a ton of work. Do we want to do boss character postcard?
Sure.
I feel like...
Gotcha.
Jesus Christ. He may be able to beat Mega Man with his horns.
Maybe.
And then up here you get to select which number postcard you want to look at. Let's go to 25. It didn't change the Robot Master. There we go. Worked that time. This menu's a little glitchy, evidently.
Cool.
Yeah, that sound effect should just keep playing.
Definitely.
Okay, well let's just check out the real game. Make sure everything's good. This Sega Saturn seems like it 110% works so far. But you never know. Maybe Mega Man's so intense it'll overheat and immediately break. These cutscenes look pretty decent. I'm starting to wonder if like Sega Saturn didn't feature better video than PlayStation, but I don't know.
Right.
I'll have to do a comparison video of that too.
We could probably tip the cutscene too.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I just wanted to look at it. Oh, that looks pretty nice.
We'll need to watch it eventually for making sure that this disc is good.
Yes. So something I'm not so sure about with this here Mega Man 8 on Saturn. That sounds lower quality than on PlayStation, that sound effect.
Huh. Weird.
But yeah, this is pretty freaking solid. This is awesome. I'm pretty excited. We actually picked up a few games in excitement for the Saturn showing up, which we'll go ahead and cut to now. We got Virtua Fighter and a weird version of Daytona USA that doesn't have the rolling start song, which is disappointing. Hey, Bob. I'm pretty Dutch angle right now.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get focused, and it's like, oh no.
Bob's like, ah, shit. My phone, I could just tap on the screen. What is this bullshit? But yeah, we got some of those games, so we're gonna throw in like 1 or 2 of those and check those out. We're gonna cut around that. I'm not gonna be no Linus Tech Tips. Okay, so maybe this isn't Virtua Fighter, but this gives us a good opportunity to check out that everything's supersonic racing. No joke. It's not responding to start, so I'm gonna guess the Sega Saturn's one of those consoles where you have to have the 3D controller plugged in before you turn it on.
Right.
I always wonder when that event occurred. Like when in video games it became a point in time where it's like, you didn't have it plugged in. Never gonna work now. I broke your controller for you. Interesting thing about the start button on this is it's actually rubber.
What?
Yeah, it's not a plastic button. It's like
Crazy.
it's like a weird rubber button.
Is this 3D controller? Oh, there it goes.
Weird. Rubber button, maybe not the best choice.
Maybe not.
Sure, we'll load slot 1. Those sound effects kind of remind me of Harvest Moon on the PlayStation.
Huh.
Ding, 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 ding.
Like we're playing Sonic R.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I'll do Grand Prix. Man, the stick is so weird. It is truly bizarre. Like, it's hard to describe it. Like, Bob's gonna have to try it himself, but it's almost like you can feel a click when you get to the outer rim of it. But it's mushy and, like, doesn't have distinct directions. It's so hard to describe.
It does look real weird.
It is real weird. But yeah, this game actually supports... Oh, okay. Which one of these buttons... Can you tell I've never played Sonic R on real hardware? Oh my god, right, it's the stick. The stick itself moves me. I don't think I'm ready for Sonic R on a TV that's introducing a ton of input latency because of the mode it's on. That's why it keeps going up to 60 frames per second. A thing actual Sonic R could never hope to do. Man, this is weird. I kind of think... I'm starting to think a 2D controller might even be better, but I don't know. I'm going to have to play it with decent input latency. I bet you people are really hyped for Sonic Month watching this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're all so excited.
And Bob is too.
Uh-huh. Why wouldn't I be? There's so many great Sonic games.
I enjoyed this game more than I ever enjoyed Battle and Chase.
Fair.
Mega Man Battle and Chase, for those who don't know. Okay, so that's working out okay. Here, Bob, you go ahead. You know what? No. You don't.
Okay.
You don't want to play Sonic R.
There's enough. There's enough of seeing Sonic R.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't want to.
You sure?
It's awful.
You sure?
It's just bad.
You need to give it a chance.
Don't you say that.
Don't you put that curse on me. I think that's one of the coolest boot up screens of that gen. Because the PS1 just showed two 2D logos, you know?
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. I feel like that's much cooler than the PlayStation logos. Admittedly, the PlayStation sound is way neater.
That is a very good sound.
Very good. Thousands of years have passed since a once thriving human civilization. Time goes by, passing their existence in the fear of the ever-present shadow of cybergenetic warfare. The few remaining human beings struggle to regain the power they have lost. There are more words, but I am checking the back of the box for Panzer Dragoon to see if it supports 3D controller. It doesn't say anything about 3D controller. So I'm willing to believe it does not actually support it.
That's sad. It means it's 3D video game.
Yeah, but this was so early on, the Saturn probably didn't have it. Let's see if the 2D controller can better deal with being plugged in. I also think it's pretty neat that the Saturn's the only console from that gen designed for you to see the disc through the top.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like, you can see it spinning through there. It's pretty neat. Yep, cutscene's still crazy looking. And this TV's frame interpolation mode is still turned on.
Beautiful.
We never exactly tweaked our composite settings for gameplay.
No.
Yep. It's some Panzer Dragoon.
Nice.
Yeah, no, this whole thing works really well. I'm super fucking grateful.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I'm super thrilled. Thank you so much for sending the Sega Saturn. I can't wait to get this like hooked up with some RGB cables into the OSSC. I'm super psyched to record our Mega Man 8 video on it because like I don't know, like the Symphony of the Night and Mega Man 8 exclusive content to the Saturn is like so appealing in and of itself, but then the Saturn has a lot of games that never came to anything else. Some games people care about, like Virtua Fighter, and other games people don't care about, like Sonic R. But I don't know, I've always really wanted Panzer Dragoon. That was like one of the main games I looked at in gaming magazines back when I was a kid. Because like, and I've explained this during that stream, the one referenced by Luigi, I didn't want a PlayStation or an N64 back then. I just wanted a Saturn, and my dad and stepmom ended up giving me an N64, and my mom and stepdad ended up getting me and my brother a PlayStation 1. So I ended up with the two consoles that did better, but as a Sega kid, you know, a person who genuinely bought into the Sega CD is a cool console. I was a gaming maverick in my youth. I was really disappointed I never got a Saturn, and one of the main things about that for me, here, let me pull this up here, was like Panzer Dragoon's so cool looking. Like, I love dragons, and I love dragons a shitload more as a kid. So like seeing this art of this amazing flying shooter where you go around on the back of a dragon and you're shooting lasers at stuff, like that in the Sega Saturn, it just was so appealing to me. So I was always like disappointed I never got one, and then as the years went on, I like more and more it was so rare and obscure that it was like buying one of those is like $120, you know, 150 if coming with this stuff, like it's worth about 150, 170 depending. It became expensive and I could justify it less and less because it's just like other things from my youth I ended up not with. Like crap that was stolen, stuff I just never got. It ended up being too expensive to justify to make me feel happy, you know? Like that's sort of like, I'm getting what I always wanted in my youth, even if it was stupid then and questionable now. So getting sent this is absolutely amazing, especially since only the US Saturn game market is totally fucked. The Japanese one's fine. And in fact, if you have this device hold here, the Action Replay Plus, you can play import games on it just fine. That's freaking awesome. So,
cool.
Had I known that before I bought Mega Man 8 for the Saturn for the US, probably would have bought the Japanese one. But hey, at least now we get to know what Cutman and Woodman sound like, right?
Yeah.
And that's important. I think so. There really aren't words to put here to express how thankful I am for your support. And you can ask me or Bob. We really don't feel like we can do enough to justify the support we get from our fans, but I really do appreciate this. Thank you. I'm going to play my Durgan game now with Durgans that shoot lasers, because that's cool as shit. And I'm not going to let any N64 fan tell me Ocarina of Time's better, because it isn't. Because there aren't dragons in Ocarina of Time.
What about Star Fox? Those fire dragons.
I don't remember any fire dragons. Where are their fart dragons in Star Fox 64, huh?
Some fire planet.
I think those were like more of Fire Leviathans. That's a dragon. What you're talking about is not a dragon.
You say so, man.
It's some other dumb thing that's not on a Sega console and thus not cool. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go supersonic racing.
Don't lie to them.
I mean, honestly, I will play that by the end of tonight. I shouldn't admit to this on the internet. I enjoy Sonic R. It is a bad game, but I enjoy it. See, you can admit to both.
This video was brought to you by GigaBoots' fantastic executive producers: Vincent Pover, Cywolf, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Joshua Mattingly, Brendan O'Sullivan, Trouncing Trogdor, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Shadow in the Darkness, Melezra, Luigi1000, and Danny Richardson. Thank you to all of our amazing executive producers, and also these guys. Head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots to help us make more awesome videos like this today.